coming to AnimalCon 2022. Could you guys introduce yourself and tell us who you're here with?
Hey, what's going on? We're Sacred Geckos and Exotics. I'm Zach.
I'm Joe.
I'm Wes.
So you guys got a lot of cool friends here with you. Do you want to talk about some of the projects that you're working on with Sacred Geckos?
Yeah, for sure. As far as Sacred Geckos go, we don't only do geckos, we also do tegus, iguanas. We're getting into anoles and chameleons as well. One of the main things that we focus on is our crested geckos, along with the lichianas and our tegus.
You mentioned that you have a lily white gecko with you and a lily orange, you said too.
There's two main projects that we work on. One is our Xanthic project, which we've been able to create a lily white Xanthic, which is a recessive and a dominant trait put together to show a double visual animal. So this gecko, it has a gray tongue, gray eyes, and then it's got the dominant white lily white trait tied into it. This is another het, lily white phantom. So we're really excited to see where that takes us in the future. And this is kind of the pinnacle project that we have in our collection, and this is our lily orange line. We actually call it a double phantom because it's a phantom trait, but then also there's an orange phantom that overlies the white. So anyway, we're watching that develop and see where that takes us.
You've actually been seeing the gene too. It doesn't only go on the lily whites, but it'll also go onto the non-visual lily whites, and it changes the color of them and makes them look a lot different than both of the parents. So we definitely know that we have a gene, some kind of new gene kind of going on there. We also have some lily whites that come out that are crisp white. So with those crisp white ones, we're going to test out and see if we can actually, if that yellow gene will show up on other animals that, you know, that aren't connected with that.
You guys mentioned that you work with a lot of different animals in your company. Do you guys want to each share kind of what your favorite species to work with or most interesting project right now is?
So we also do tegus. We got red albino, pure red albino tegus.
We also do some monitors. We got Kamini, a few different water monitors, het black dragon. So we're slowly starting to dabble into the monitors too.
On my side of the facility, we're doing the crested geckos, chameleons, and then the anoles. Just got into some big blue beauties, and we're excited to see where that takes us.
What's the origin story of your company? Why'd you guys all come together and start breeding geckos and other animals?
Yeah, so me and Joe have been friends for a long time. We've been collecting reptiles pretty much our whole lives. And, you know, about 9 years ago, we went to a Tinley and decided we could really make something of this. And so we really started pushing our projects, you know, to the level that we're at now.
Yeah, we brought everything together, and then we called it, you know, we gave it a name, and we took on a project, and we just kind of ran with it. We've been doing expos ever since and kind of building our brand and, you know, just trying to turn people on to the idea of having a little bit of a pet or something to take care of. What we find is whenever you have something else to care for or take care of, you take a little bit more care of yourself. You know, in order to have a proper housing for these animals and to take proper care of them, you know, you kind of have to be set up yourself, you know, and teaching that responsibility to little kids and getting them excited about the industry and kind of see their eyes light up when you hand them an animal. I mean, that's what we do this for, so yeah, it's pretty exciting.
How'd you guys come up with the name too?
New Caledonia is kind of like a sacred land to us. There's all the tribal people. You got to ask permission to go and move through their forests. So we kind of, you know, went after thinking that it's a sacred place. These are sacred animals.
And the color palette is amazing. And so what we, you know, Zach's an artist by trade. And so, I mean, that's where we come up with all the art and all the designs for all of our clothing and everything. When we see these animals, we look at them as pieces of art, and we say, how can we make what we desire to see? And so, what we've learned over the years is, if we can think about it or we can envision it in our eyes, in our minds, then we can create it. And this is proven over and over and over again with these different projects, you know, coming up with this all orange crested gecko. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just something that you don't see very often. And so, you know, we're just trying to push that envelope and trying to create something new that nobody's ever seen. And I mean, these geckos are at that like point in the stage where they're about to expand as far as genetics go. So we're really excited to be on the wave of it.
Closing advice that you have for people trying to get into geckos or tegus or any first pets in the reptile industry?
Do what you love.
You know, make goal lists. We make a lot of goals of what we are set at, we want to go after. We write it down. Once we mark that thing off the list, it builds this momentum, and then we put another thing on the list. And anything, even like with the yellow and the oranges, that was one of the first things on our list that we wanted to hit. And then it started popping out of animals that didn't even have the crazy oranges and stuff in them. So
we write our list, we read it out loud every single day. When you read it out loud, I mean, you believe it, and when you sync with that vibration, you allow it to come in. And so, I mean, that's our advice, is to, have an end result in mind and focus on it. With the crested geckos, they're super easy to care for. I mean, you're talking about misting daily and feeding them a powdered food that you mix with water every other day, and so, I mean, they're really safe and good pets, good starter pets. So we'd recommend them to everybody.
Well, thank you guys for your time.
Appreciate you.